Alright, this is John Costa with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. And what we're going to do in this episode is actually interview my friend Cecilia Starr, who I met actually at the Woodstock Fruit Festival. And she got into a health journey about 6 years ago and started eating a plant-based, fruit and vegetable-centric raw food diet for about 3 years ago. And the reason why I want to have her on is because she healed, even at a much more mature age, several different diseases that were ailing her, by literally just changing her diet. And also to show you guys that it's never too late to start if you're having problems, because you literally, the old adage holds true. You are what you eat. Well, actually, it's you are what you eat and absorb, because if your digestive system is not working, you're not going to absorb it. So let's hear from Cecilia a little bit about her journey. So Cecilia, why did you change your diet even after being, what, you were over 65 at that point, right?
Yeah, I was way over 65 when I started my journey, because I'm 73 now. And so I started because I was working and I had so much arthritis in my hands and my feet and the back of my neck. It would just burn. And in my field, I need to have my hands because I'm a hairdresser. So I need to feel good and stand on my feet all day long. And so that's why I decided to look into being a vegetarian, and then a vegan, and then from a vegan to a raw vegan. And that's when I went online to look up James Coburn's arthritis diet years ago on Larry King Live. I heard him and I remembered that, and so I went online, looked it up, and it was a vegetarian diet, and so I decided that's when I'd give it a try. And that really, really, really helped. When I did that, it didn't take long. And my arthritis in my hands and my thumbs and the joints just hurt so bad. And in my feet, I had cramps, and I had pains in my big toe. And I had varicose veins and a lot of things going on. Plus, I was dealing with the last 50 years with yeast overgrowth from too many antibiotics. And with this, and that is cleared up now since I have switched my diet, which is great. I'm happy about that.
Wow, so yeah, just by simply changing your diet, your body will allow itself to heal. So I want to share, Cecilia, like how did going from the vegetarian to the vegan and then to the raw vegan, did you see incremental improvements all during that time, or why did you finally end up going raw vegan?
Well, that's a good question. I switched to being a vegetarian, and then to a vegan, and then I used to do some cooked food, and so then I went on a vacation and was online, and I was looking for, and I went down to Costa Rica to the Farm of Life down there, not knowing that they were a raw vegan fruitarian type of a group place there, and it was wonderful. I had the time of my life. That was the best trip I've ever taken. It was emotional, it was spiritual, it was healing, it was fun, it was active, because I like to be active. We went zip lining, we went hiking, we jumped off cliffs, off of waterfalls, went swimming, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful time. And that's and most of those people from there, except for me, was all from the Woodstock Fruit Festival in New York. So I came home and I decided I was going to look up the next year. I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and that's where my journey is, just keep evolving and going as time goes on and as I'm growing and getting into it. So that's my story.
Wow, yeah, that's totally amazing. I mean, in Hawaii, at Hawaii Woodstock, Cecilia would go on hikes with us, and and she would keep up with the kids half her age just about, man. And
skydiving also.
Yeah, she's crazy, man. But yeah, these foods, they keep you young. I mean, that's how I've been doing this for 20 years, and most people think about 10 years younger than actually I am. And I'm young at heart. I don't know, is it because of my diet or because I'm just that way? And Cecilia's the same way. She plays tennis 3 times a week, still has a full-time job she's working, and does her gardening and all kinds of other stuff. So hey, if you're want to see her garden, be sure to check my other YouTube channel, growingyourgreens.com. I actually did a really good piece and episode on Cecilia with gardening, because growing her own food is very important to her. Let's talk about that. How important is growing your own food to you, and what differences have you saw after you started growing and incorporating some of the food you grew into your diet?
Well, to me, it's very important to get the vegetables as fast as you can, eating them, so you get all the nutrients, because once it's been picked, you don't know how long it's been in the grocery stores, and then it loses nutrients the longer it's been cut. So when you could grow your own, and you can go right outside. I just love it. I can go every morning right out to my own garden, 10 feet away or less, and come in and pick it and wash it and put it in my smoothie or juice it. And I just feel the energy, and that's what I look at the food when I buy it. Is that leaf nice and strong, or is it weak and limp? How much energy does that have? Because if it's a strong leaf and it's not weak and limp, it's got a lot of energy in it. Well, that energy goes into my body then, and that gives me energy to sustain my life. So to me, it is really 100% important to me that I have as fresh as possible, and organic, because I'm growing organic everything, thanks to John Kohler and people like him, that I can help me with the knowledge on how to do that, because I knew nothing. I never thought 60 years ago or even 20 years ago that I'd be on this journey, life journey, and I just so enjoy it so much.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's really important to me also that I sense with the food is the life force energy in the food, whether you want to call it prana, chi, or biophotons. This is something that science hasn't really researched yet. But, in my opinion, life begets life, and we want to eat foods as fresh as possible, because not only do they have the life force energy, but they have more phytonutrients and phytochemicals as well, which I've identified as some of the most important nutrients in the food. Now, I know you play tennis and you do skydiving and
hiking.
Hiking and
this morning in the rain, and 3 miles.
You jump off cliffs. Aren't you scared about breaking some bones? And did you have like didn't you have like osteoporosis? And how has the raw food diet and the fruit and vegetable diet affected that?
Well, also I like doing herbs. I really believe in the power of herbs. So I make my own little herb concoctions here, and do that with the food. So that's what I think that's important to me. So. And
how about you had osteoporosis?
I did. I had osteoporosis, which I reversed, and I've got proof of that. Because they do the bone tests and the bone scans with that all the time that I've had for years. And the other reason why it's really important to me to eat healthy is because I come from a large family, and my father died of colon cancer, a brother died of colon cancer, a sister died of colon cancer, and I've got a lot of cancer in my family. And I'm the one to believe I don't want to wait till I get it before I start doing something and changing my diet. I'm into preventing. To me, prevention is I don't want to go to the doctor. Doctors don't make you well. Your body has the power to heal itself. And I'm not short of drugs, but I may be short of greens and fruits. And so as much as that stuff that I can get into me, the better. And juicing, I can juice so much more greens than I could possibly eat if I tried just to eating it, or having a sandwich with a little piece of lettuce or one slice of tomato on it, when I could eat a whole box of tomatoes or a whole deal of celery, stalk of celery. I could juice all that and drink it down at one time. And that's what I feel the body needs and what's going to regenerate, because the body has the power to regenerate itself if you give it the right foods and the right exercise and spiritual as well. That's why when I like to pray, I like to go out to the ocean, to the beach, walk on the beach, sit on the sand, or go hiking in the woods, be with nature. To me, that's what God made. And the sun, the sun, it has the power to heal. And that's why it's so important to be in the sun. And everybody today wants to hide away from it, or is in the house all the time. And so I try to get outside and do as many fun things as I can.
Wow, yeah, I mean, she had so many important parts and points to make in just that little section. Probably one of the most important to me is because I come from a situation where I almost lost my life and the doctors didn't have a heal or couldn't cure me. You know, when I was in my health crisis, you know, I came out and it was a lot more serious about my health, and that's why I focus on a certain specific kind of raw food diet. I mean, a raw food diet, much like a vegan diet, could be healthy or unhealthy. There's plenty of junk food vegans that could have Oreo cookies and Coke. Those are vegan foods, but they're not healthy foods in my opinion. So you need to be more than just vegan or more than just raw. You need to eat a healthy diet. So a healthy diet to me is
fresh.
Yeah, fresh foods that you could grow yourself. Fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. That should be the center of your diet, and you should focus on these foods the most, and eating, you know, try to eat the minimal amount of calories while still maintaining and meeting your caloric needs, but by eating tons of different phytonutrients and phytochemicals. These are the disease protective properties of the plants that people, and some people even on a raw food diet, are just not getting because they're eating high calorie raw foods like you know, too many nuts and seeds, and you know, too many bananas or high calorie fruit, dates or dried fruits and whatnot.
Processed, boxed vegan food.
Yeah, boxed, you know, kale chips and all these things. We need to really eat vegetables, lots of vegetables, leafy greens, and the fruits. So let's talk about this, Cecilia. What's your daily diet like on a daily basis? I mean, you're a small lady here, so you probably don't eat a ton of food like as much as I do. But you know, what do you have to let people know, like if they're older, you know, in their senior years, like what they might want to start with, or what they might want to do just if they want to do something like you're doing?
Probably the best way to, I tell my friends that want to listen to me, and what I do is start with smoothies. Smoothies are really easy to make. Everybody has a blender at home. That's all you need is a blender to do that with, and you can add apples to it, cucumbers, and I was asked this morning, because the girls I was hiking with asked me, well, what do you do for a treat for yourself? And I said, well, I make a really good smoothie out of bananas, frozen banana, and some almond milk, and I put a little ginger in there and a little turmeric root. Both of those are fresh roots that I use, and you can put a little vanilla in there and blend that up, and it's like having ice cream, especially with the frozen banana in there and a little bit of almond milk, and you can even put some cinnamon in it. There's all different kinds of things you can do, but mostly every single morning I make either I juice my greens, or I make a smoothie. I make a smoothie out of it with my greens, and I use cucumber. Sometimes I put a carrot in it, and I always use celery and cucumber and a green apple in there. And then I try to put on the every day use a different green, so I can rotate my greens. I don't eat the same green every day. One day I'll have 2 batches of Swiss chard in there, what you buy in the grocery store where they're all twisted up in a twister. I'll put 2 of those packages in there that day with the whole cucumber, about a half a stalk of celery, and green apple. And that I drink on. I take it to work with me, or take it to the tennis courts, and oh my God, You should see what the girls say at the tennis club when I come with my green drinks there, and I'm drinking that on court, and they're, what are you drinking? You know, it's really funny, and I enjoy it. So, and I know what its benefit it's doing me, so that's why it doesn't bother me what other people say about it, because I can feel the difference. And that's what my morning is. And then in the evening, I'll either make another smoothie or I'll make a salad, something to that effect.
Awesome. Yeah, so I mean, it is really simple and easy to eat healthy, right? Just smoothies or juices, and eat salads, and just increase the volume of the fresh fruits and vegetables you eat. So now that you guys learn what Cecilia eats in today, I want to ask her just the final question today. So do you have any hints or tips for people out there that maybe are not yet eating copious amounts of fruits and vegetables that you'd like to give them, that you learned over your journey into health and getting rid of your arthritis and osteoporosis and you know, controlling your yeast infections and whatnot?
Start out slow. And when I first started, I kept going back to cooked foods, or I would go back to a salmon or a fish or whatever. But then I just slowly weaned myself off. It's really hard to stop and do it at the point where I am today. I could never have done this 6 or 7 years ago all at once. So the point is, start slow but steady, and when you make a mistake and you eat a sandwich or your bread, or you go out one time with your friends, and it just get right back into it. Get back into it, and it gets easier as it goes. And then you learn more, and you talk to other people, like my friend John here, who has taught me so much, and I'm watching how he's cooking his, or how he's fixing his foods and stuff, and preparing it. And so that's how I learn what from other people, how they do it. But best tip is to go slow and do it in degrees, different degrees, and just go a little better and a little better and a little better each time. And 6 years later now, it just comes easy and natural to me, and I have no desire to ever go back to eating any kind of an animal. They said, don't you eat eggs? And I said, no. And I said, dairy? I said, to me, dairy is one of the worst things you could eat, because I was so full of mucus in the head. I had tetanus in the ears. My hearing has gotten better. Actually, my eyesight's gotten better, but the hearing has gotten a whole lot better. I was going to go deaf, like most of my clients now. They all are on hearing aids, men and women. And they're just, dairy products really fills our head with a lot of mucus. And that's what causes a lot of headaches, the hearing loss, sinus infections. So it's really important to try to wean yourself off of the dairy products, and that includes yogurt as well, and as ice cream. Everybody says, well, yogurt's supposed to be so good for you, but it still comes from an animal. All this stuff, we forget where the food is coming from, that the butter and the yogurt and the ice cream and the cheese. Nobody ever thinks of the cheese coming, where it comes from. And so you just got to go slow, wean yourself off of it, and you'll eventually get there.
Yeah, wow, that's one of the things I like to say. By the inch, it's a cinch. By the yard, it's hard. Start off slow and steady, you know, just start by changing your breakfast. And yeah, keep your same lunch and dinner, but at your lunch and dinner, have more fruits and vegetables. So have an extra piece of fruit, or 2 or 3 at lunch, and have an extra, you know, salad or side salad at dinner. And slowly but surely, you know, make the fruit meals a bigger part of your lunch, and make whatever your sandwich smaller. And same with your dinner. Make the salads bigger and make your chicken smaller and smaller. And of course, always the breakfast, the best time to have the raw foods, in my opinion. You know, fresh juices, green juices like I had this morning, or fresh fruits, or blended smoothies. You know, definitely the best. So yes, I'm glad to have met and know Cecilia. She's doing an amazing job. Hopefully she's motivated some of you guys, and she's having her own, you know, successes with her with their health, and are you beating like your other peers at tennis and all this stuff because you could kick their ass because you're on a healthier diet and you have more energy, more vivacious, and quicker reflexes too?
And these kids I play tennis with, believe it or not, are half my age.
Really?
Most of them are either half my age or could be my grandkids that I'm playing tennis with and beating them. So my kids get a big kick out of that. They tell everybody that, and they've seen me play tennis, and that they know I play with people that are half my age, because I'm one of the oldest ones out at my tennis club that I belong to, and I'm on the team with. And people, they can't believe when they're talking about their kids, and then I talk about mine, and they can't believe I've got kids as old as I have. So, but I do.
That's awesome.
I love them.
Yeah, if you want to kick ass at tennis, kick ass at life, kick ass at MMA or whatever, go plant-based, vegan, fruit and vegetable centric, man. You're gonna kick ass. Just like my friend Cecilia here. So hopefully this has motivated you just a little bit to include more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet. If it did, hey, please give me a thumbs up to let me know. I'll be back to visit Cecilia next time I'm in the area and interview her some more and share some more words of wisdom with you guys. Also be sure to check my past episodes. I have over 400 episodes now that share with you guys all the different ways to actually incorporate and do raw foods, fruit and vegetable diet the best way, including ways to save money and all the things to look out for and the pitfalls and caveats. And be sure to click that subscribe button right down below. I have videos coming out about every 5 to 7 days on this channel, you know, with new information that'll only enhance and encourage you guys to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, because that's what I'm all about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best. Alright, this is John Condo with OKRaw.com to do another exciting episode for you. Where I am today is the Los Angeles Wholesale Produce Terminal. This is like one of my favorite places to be in LA. I mean, we were at the beach yesterday, and I love the beach, but I personally think I love the produce.